since today is the International Day of Volunteering, so Jasmine, I have a big, actually it's a big question.
Oh.
So do you have any experience in volunteering, Jasmine?
Actually, I have. So when I used to live in South Korea for 3 years, the culture was very immersive, but I really am interested in learning about religion, specifically Buddhism. So what I used to do was every year when I was there, I spent a couple of days or a week in the monks' temple. And I actually did a volunteering work to, immerse myself in the idea of mindfulness. So what I would do is I'd wake up at 4 a.m., sweep the garden, sweep the floor, everything, and live like the monk does, and also contributing to these rural temples. Really, what about you?
Very interesting. Well, actually, all my life I've been doing volunteer work. So
wow.
I do volunteer work since I was a very small kid.
Yeah.
So I'm joined in this international organization called CISV, which stands for the Children International Summer Village. So we go around the world, we teach, we play games with children, and we spread the awareness of peace education among kids.
Wow, look at you go. Oh, interesting.
Right, folks. So Volunteer Day, which is today, was established by the United Nations to celebrate and promote the invaluable contributions of volunteers worldwide, and it falls on December the 5th. So
Exactly.
actually, it was not today.
It's not today, but
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, but we're getting the energy ready for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, to talk more on this, let's welcome Kelas Inspirasi and Ruang Berbagi Ilmu volunteer Anggriawan Sugianto. So welcome to the studio.
Yes, welcome, Mas Anggri.
Yeah.
So what is it that you can tell me about this whole volunteering program? Because you talked to me a little bit behind the scenes that this is not really your line of work. You have something that you do in your daily life, but this is a passion for you. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Anggri. I'm currently running an IT company in Jakarta. Basically, I volunteer in 2 programs, Kelas Inspirasi and Ruang Berbagi Ilmu. I've been volunteering in Kelas Inspirasi since 2012. So we are sharing our career stories to elementary kids in Jakarta, Bandung, Yogyakarta, Bali, and so on. And we try to inspire their dreams to dream big and dream high. And the second one is Ruang Berbagi Ilmu. So we train teachers in rural area and about creative teaching methods, about the positive disciplines, about the digital literacy. So we aim to have the teacher empowered to have the better skill to teach their students.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you try to also educate the teachers in these areas.
Yeah, yes.
So what are the research that you've done so far to see, kids actually, adopt better in these circumstances? What has it been like for you in that finding of how images are important?
So we are surprised that the kids in the rural area are very diligent and they are very happy to learn, even though maybe they live like far from the school and sometimes they walk for an hour to get to the school. So we actually were inspired by the kids. So we are happy to share our career stories to them. So they have the new views about how the working culture, like what professions, like from the banking, from the media, from the IT, so from various industry, and then to make them to dream high and then to have cita-cita yang tinggi.
So what a great goal.
To have a lot of passions in life and also a lot of things to strive for in your life, really.
So just to be clear, Mas Anggri, so you are a volunteer at Kelas Inspirasi. So I want to ask you, as a volunteer, what was the biggest challenges you faced in facing these children or anything in your volunteering? You've been volunteering since 2012, so it's been 12 years. So yes,
More
please.
than 12 years.
More than 12 years, actually, yeah. So please share with us.
I think the most challenging one is the logistic issues about the transportation, the basic accommodation. For example, like if we volunteer in the rural area like Papua or Maluku, not every city have better transportation from Jakarta to reach them. Like for example, when I volunteer for the Ruang Berbagi Ilmu in Yapen is in Papua.
Yeah.
So first, like we fly to Biak, and then from Biak, back then we didn't get the updated online information about the transportation, like the flight from Biak to Yapen, or maybe the boat from Yapen from Biak to Yapen. So when we arrived there, we just asked the local people, and then they said, "Oh, the flight is not available because it's sold out." So we just take a object local and then go to the harbor and then
local transportation.
get the ticket for the boat and then go to the Yapen. And then in Yapen there is no hotel. So we just stay in the
People's home.
And
Homestays.
it's not homestays.
No homestays. So
Probably
just
camping.
so you just knock on the door and
No. We get the partnership with the local volunteers. They're usually a teacher in the local schools there,
Right.
and then they provide us with the accommodation. So we stay there for a few days. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm curious as well because this is not just something locally. It's a transnational organization that you guys, move in, move
It's
out.
a national.
Yeah,
National.
it's a national organization that you have been indulge yourself in. So, going into, for example, you said Maluku, right?
Yeah.
So you come in there. When you leave, does the program still run, or does it work when you only attend these events live?
So basically, the program was only like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
We empower the teachers, or we share the carry stories to the kids. But then after that, there is a like follow-up program, usually run by the local volunteers. Maybe they can like run every month or every 6 months. So it's basically up to the local volunteers.
Right.
We are volunteers from Jakarta or any other cities. We just help them in the main event, but then for the follow-up, it depends on the local volunteers.
Oh, wow. I'm also curious to know, what did you feel initially when you started, doing all of this? And what was something, memorable for you that you've learned over the past, 12, 14 years that you've done this?
So there are a lot of memorable moments, but basically there are 2 moments that inspired me. Like the first one in Kelas Inspirasi when we share our career stories, and then after that, one of the kids says, "Kak, I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to be a software engineer. I think it's cool. I want to create a game." So from that very limited time of interaction, we can inspire kids. Usually they only dream about like being a police, doctor, or teacher, like some profession that they are actually familiar with. But then when we came to the school and then they see, oh, there is another like a job or career like the game developer, and they are inspired. The second one is when we volunteer to class Ruang Berbagi Ilmu or RUBI in the rural area, and we share about the creative learning methods or digital literacy to the teachers there. And after the session ended, one of the teachers said, "Mas, thank you very much for coming, for traveling so far from Jakarta to come here, and you do it with your own money, with your own expense, and we are very grateful." And for us, for me especially, like it touched my heart. And so even though what I contribute is small to the education, but I hope it creates the ripple effects after that. So the teacher can teach the students like better, and then the students will be inspired, and then the quality of our education can improve. Yeah, so
And
that's
also
my
must
dream.
feel amazing for you, after so many years of doing this, to finally get, a little bit of a appreciation from these people. So it turns out, all the work that you put into is not just gone for vain. It must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And also, I want to ask you, since not many know, especially for those who haven't done volunteering work, that volunteering itself is sometimes it's a reciprocal energy and advantage too. So it not only benefits the volunteer or the ones who we are volunteering for, but also for us.
Yes.
So in your experience, what has volunteering in these 2 instances are beneficial for you? Like,
What do you see in yourself that has changed?
yeah.
So it teach me empathy, it teach me about the resilience, it teach me about the gratitude. So when we interacted with the teachers in the rural area or with the kids in the villages. So we see their spirit and we see their resilience, even though their background maybe is not as good as us in the cities, but they are very eager to teach the kids. And and then that's
Well, that's amazing, and I hope you
empathy,
continue. on that.
resilience, and gratitude.
And I think also for you, you feel grateful that, I think I felt this most partly because aside from, the monk and the Buddhist temple that I was helping with, I also did a little bit of work in an orphanage, also in Korea. And just seeing these kids happy to interact with you just changes my whole perspective on, the things that I have, the people in my life, my family and all that. And to see how they have so little to have in their life, but they're so grateful for little things that we want to help them to do is just, this is why I love volunteering work, and to see people like you, coming in here and sharing your experiences is definitely amazing. Now, because this is also a United Nations development program, I just want to know, in terms of volunteering, what are the achievements of the Sustainable Development Goals that you realize has impacted this whole scenario for you?
Yeah, because we volunteer in the education, so I think it improved the education quality, right? So that's obvious. And the second one, I think reduce the inequalities, because when we volunteer in the rural area, we will realize about the systemic issue.
Yes.
Because the education is not just a simple problem; it's like a systemic issue, And we cannot rely on the government only. It takes collective effort. Not only government, but also the school system and also us as a professional.
Yeah,
I agree.
Maybe our interaction is less limited, only 2 or 3 days. But after that, maybe we can, maybe we have resources, we have the network. For example, we know the CSR budget from some big corporation, and we know that they are pursuing the education mission or maybe some green mission. So we can transfer those budget to the schools or the rural area that we know that they need something, and we know that they are a thinker person, honest person to run the community, to run the local volunteering, or to run the school. So I think even though our volunteering program is quite small, but we believe that with our small contribution we can make a collective effort and make the inequality in Indonesia reduce. So,
Yeah, wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for doing that
Thank you.
and believing in that mission. So last but not least, do you have any message or advice you want to give to the viewers out there who is volunteering for the first time?
So first one, just follow Kelas Inspirasi ID and Ruang Berbagi Ilmu ID, because we have an up-to-date information there. For Kelas Inspirasi, I think the closest one is Kelas Inspirasi Yogyakarta in the February, and then the recruitment will be this month. And after that, just start small, don't think too much, just prepare what you can, and then just enjoy the journey.
Wow. You learn a lot from it too. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much
Thank
again
you so
for
much, Mas
coming
Anggri.
here.
So folks, that is Anggriawan Sugianto from Kelas Inspirasi dan Ruang Berbagi Ilmu volunteer. So, Jasmine?
We're actually going for a quick short break here, and Caroline will return with a recap from the world of sports. So stay tuned and keep it only on the C Morning Show.